$5 Games presents Xenon Valkyrie. Somewhere between absolutely amazing and it's okay lies this game. The story is that there's a big bad deity from long ago sleeping in the moon, and a mad scientist wants to resurrect it. The mad scientist hired some robot mercenaries to defend herself while she carries out this plot, and your goal is to stop her. That basically sums it up. The world is a bit more complex, which I appreciate, but it's given in such little detail that it's difficult to understand. This is probably due to the game focusing on being a roguelite and not a full-blown RPG. Gameplay-wise, it is an action platformer where the goal is to get to the bottom of each level and then fight a boss every third level. Along the way, you gain experience points and gold, which you can spend right before a boss on basic stats and immediately used items. Before you begin, you choose one of 3 characters. There's potentially more, and each character has 4 weapons they can use. For the character I chose, she has a sword. It's not terribly impressive, but it looks nice. Her gun and grenades have limited ammo that you can rarely find ammo for. The most likely location is the shop. And then the timed bomb, which is rechargeable and can destroy the environment, and that was kind of cool. But despite it tearing a hole in the ground, it doesn't do a lot of damage. Each level has one chest that will give you a random item, and the randomness isn't even constrained to how far you are in the game. In the first stage, you could get the best sword in the entire game. I was a bit confused at this because in other games there is a reason to trade, and that's not the case in this game. Even though the weapons appear different, the 5 or so I tried all felt identical to each other. And if you trade, you can't trade back. It's a one-shot deal of replacing your weapon. So this part of the game is just pick the higher number and you're done. There are some passive items you can get, but I couldn't find a way to learn what they did. So as far as I could tell, they were just collectibles. The normal levels felt randomly generated and didn't feel great, but the bosses were fantastic. I loved the design. They became more complex as the boss fight progressed. They weren't overly difficult as there wasn't a good way to heal in the game, but they weren't mind-numbingly boring. And being a roguelite, after I died, I fought a different boss on stage 3 than I did the first time. However, despite all of this, the game didn't feel that expansive, but that was just my personal experience. It was decent, and that's all I have to say about it. So that's a wrap. Consider picking this game up instead of touching a radioactive cocoon.